Hi friends, welcome to Carlos M Kitchen. Today I am making a Chile Ancho sauce. These chiles are mild, but I will show you how to raise the heat if you want to. The Chile Anchos come in a plastic bag with 4 or 5 units in each bag. I make an incision close to the stem and then I remove the seeds. They are very easy to handle and the chiles are very aromatic. Before I forget, I invite you to sponsor me on Patreon. And of course subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me in both platforms under Carlos M Kitchen. Let's go back to the recipe. Once the seeds are removed, I clean the cutting board and I will cut them by hand into smaller pieces. Before this step, I had chopped a whole onion and I am going to caramelize it in that oil. While the onion is caramelizing, I'm going to prep the other ingredients. Starting with 2 Roma tomatoes, and I will set them aside with the chile anchos. By now the onions should be caramelized, so I take them off the heat and reserve them on a plate. The onions flavor the oil, and in that oil I am going to saute the chiles in low heat for about 2 minutes on each side. Be careful not to burn them because they will turn bitter. Trust me, I have done it before and had to start from scratch. When I was cooking the onions, I prepped the spices. That's a little turmeric, dry ginger, black pepper and coriander, a little ground cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of chili powder, that's raising the heat, and salt, sea salt. I move the chiles to one side of the pan to toast the spices. Toasting them will make them easier to digest and they will release their aromas. And I toasted them for about 20 or 30 seconds. Don't do it for longer because you will burn them. That smells heavenly. Absolutely delicious. And don't forget to add the salt. The salt will make the tomatoes release their water. Then mix everything to incorporate all the flavors. And each one of them is going to contribute to the overall taste of the salsa. Then I cover the pan until the tomatoes are and the chiles are really tender. Meanwhile, I get 10 cashews and I'm gonna grind them on a plastic bag, you'll see why, and set them aside until it's time to mix them with the other ingredients. This is a little trick. I also got half a cup of plain yogurt ready. But if you don't have yogurt, you can substitute it for Mexican cream, sour cream, or creme fraiche. Now the chiles and the tomatoes are really soft, really tender. They took about 15 minutes to cook. I removed them from the heat and allowed them to cool off on a different plate. In an immersion blender, I am adding the caramelized onions, the ground cashews. See that little trick there? And the spiced tomatoes and chiles. And some water to help the blender. The process will be blend, taste, and correct. Here I am adding a little more water to dilute the sauce a little more. It was too thick. And now I add the yogurt, 1 tablespoon at a time. I continue to blend and look at the sauce color until it is close to what I want. Then I transfer the sauce to the pan in low heat. I correct the flavors. I added brown sugar, water, and more yogurt. Incorporate all the ingredients and now it's ready to serve with some Nicaraguan style squash. The squash will be the next recipe, so stay tuned for that one. So that's all. Check the 2 videos to the right of the screen. Chaito, and I will see you in the next video.